Pitt told the magazine he preferred to stay at home instead of going out. You meet so damn many people. So many damned people. I got that wrong. And then you meet him again. The upcoming Bullet Train star said he had difficulty remembering people even if he had a real conversation with them, and that he'd tried to trick people into thinking he'd remembered them or hope they would drop a clue or some context of where he might know them from. So many people hate me because they think I'm disrespecting them, he said. He revealed that he tried being honest with people and asking them where they had met before, but that backfired. It just got worse, he said, of that experiment. People were more offended. Pitt said he's typically thanked those who would help him out in social situations. Still, he said he felt people considered him to be egotistical or conceited, but it's a mystery to me, man. I can't grasp a face. And yet I come from such a design aesthetic point of view, he said, adding that he plans to get tested, which is such a bizarre term these days. According to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, part of the U.S. National Institutes of Health, prosopagnosia is thought to be the result of abnormalities, damage, or impairment in the part of the brain that appears to coordinate the neural system that control facial perception and memory. It may also result from stroke, traumatic brain injury, or certain neurodegenerative diseases. In some cases, the Institute states, it's a congenital disorder present at birth in the absence of any brain damage. There's a wide spectrum of symptoms people can have, and of the severity in which they are affected by this. Dr. Leah Kroll, an assistant professor of neurology at Temple University Hospital, told Good Morning America recently, for some people it may just be some minor difficulties in remembering people's names and keeping strangers straight, and for others it may be more severe, such that they have issues with recognizing their own friends and family, or even issues recognizing their own reflection. Kroll said prosopagnosia specifically refers to the symptom of an ability to attach a face to an identity, adding that while some people may have associated symptoms such as the inability to recognize facial expressions or objects or trouble navigating, usually when we're talking about face blindness, we're keeping it just to issues identifying faces. Addressing those who may be skeptical about the concept of face blindness, Kroll stated that this is a very real syndrome. Because it is such an abstract concept and really hard even for medical professionals to understand, For medical professionals to understand, it's very difficult. It can feel like people are sort of faking it. Often these people are kind of worried that they come off as distant or aloof or cold because they're scared that the people in their lives don't really understand what's going on with them and why they're having so much trouble recognizing them. Though she emphasized that she had not diagnosed him herself, Kroll said Pitt's experience was likely something to which many could relate. I think that Brad Pitt is experiencing something that many patients experience, which is this funny feeling that something is off, but they're not quite sure what it is or where to go for help, she said. So someone thinking that Brad Pitt's story sounds familiar to them or that they're having similar symptoms, I would recommend they go see a neurologist and get formally tested and evaluated. Testing involves evaluation by a neurologist and a neuropsychologist who look at someone's visual processing system, according to Kroll. Though, as Kroll states, there is no treatment for prosopagnosia, the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke says therapy should focus on helping individuals develop compensatory strategies. I ran out of air. Adults who have the condition as a result of stroke or brain trauma can be retrained to use other clues to identify individuals. And the reason why I can identify this is because it happens. Right? You meet someone, you're excited to meet them, hey, good to meet you, and then For some reason, I see them later and I just cannot quite place who they are. I might recognize the face, but I can't keep I'm not even sure what the chat is. You know, what's the story? What's happening? What's going on? That's why we tend to get a little, I tend to get a little weird because it's like, oh my goodness, what do I do to make this work? How can I fix this? How can I get this rolling? How can I get some sort of trick so I remember the person? And it'll happen after I've known the person for years. Ran into somebody, you know, I've known this man and his wife 100 years. And I see him at a gig one day, and I walk up, and I'm like, hi. I remember his name. I cannot remember her name. I've known her for years. Cannot remember her name. Now I can. I'm not going to tell you, because if she's listening, she'll be even more embarrassed that I could not remember her name. It was very embarrassing. And I even had to, you know, say it at the time. I'm sorry, I just blanked on who you are and how I mean, I know how I know you. That's not a problem. I've seen, you know, I know you. That's not a problem. I just can't remember your name right now. And there are times I've recognized people and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? I know you. I've seen you. I've worked with you. I just haven't, for some reason in my brain, developed any sort of cognitive. And on Brad's end of the spectrum and my own, it's not like being a non-player character, if that makes sense. Because a lot of my life is basically being an NPC. I'm just there to facilitate whatever journey you're on, whether it's your performance or whatever. Right? You're going to know me for all of the gig. So if the gig is 3 hours long, I'll know you for 4 hours. 5 maybe. And then I'll probably never see you, hear from you, talk to you, contact with you again. And that's, you know, that's the nature of doing entertainment. You cross paths a million times. So it's good to know that there's a name, prosopagnosia. I can remember data. I can remember protocols. But for some reason, I have trouble remembering names now and again. This is a rough morning for me, so you're all just going to have to... I mean, not that anybody's watching, so we're good there. Probably even less people listening. Let's see what this has. Oh, no, that's fine. Not even going to put their own name on it. Do I have a name? Nope, nobody's taking credit for this one, so, you know. Take that with a grain of salt. Futurism.com researcher tells AI to write a paper about itself, then submits it to academic journal. All we know is we opened a gate. We just hope we didn't open a Pandora's box. Whatever, okay. It looks like algorithms can write academic papers about themselves now. We gotta wonder how long until human academics are obsolete. In an editorial published by Scientific American, Swedish researcher Almira Osmanovic Thunstrom Tunstrom, I guess. Tunstrom, I guess. Describes what began as a simple experiment in how well OpenAI's GPT-3 text-generating algorithm could write about itself, and ended with a paper that's currently being peer-reviewed. The initial command he entered into the text generator was elementary enough, right? An academic thesis in 500 words about GPT-3 and add scientific references and citations inside the text. The researcher, whose main focus at Sweden's University of Gothenburg is on neuroscience and health tech, writes that she stood in awe as the algorithm began writing an actual thesis replete with effective citations in appropriate places and contexts. It looked, Thornton wrote, like any other introduction to a fairly good scientific publication. Boy. With the help of her advisor, Stein Grimson, who now serves as the third author of the full paper following GPT-3 and Thunstrom, the researcher provided minimal instruction for the algorithm before setting it loose to write a proper academic paper about itself. It only took 2 hours for GPT-3 to write the paper, which is currently titled, Can GPT-3 Write an Academic Paper on Itself with Minimal Human Input, and hosted, yes, really, on a French preprint server called How. That's awesome. It ended up taking much longer, Dunstrom writes, to deal with the authorship and disclosure minutiae that comes with peer review, details that are a simple annoyance for human authors, but a bona fide conundrum when the main authorial entity is an algorithm with no legal name. After asking the AI if it had any conflict of interest to disclose, it said no. And if it had the researcher's consent to publish, yes. Thunstrom submitted the AI-penned paper for peer review to a journal she didn't name. The questions this exercise raises, however, are far from answered. Beyond the detail of authorship, Thunstrom writes, the existence of such an article throws the notion of a traditional linearity of a scientific paper right out the window. All we know is we opened a gate, she concludes. We just hope we didn't open Pandora's box. How adorable. But that would make a lot of, once they make this AI into a funky little app for your phone, that last minute 11th hour research paper you need to submit, you walk up to your Mac, fire up the app and say, hey, I need a paper on the ridiculousness of woke culture and critical race theory as it applies to, never mind, hey, we have a surprise for you. Would you believe Adam Sabes, coming from, Fox News? You're going to love this one. This one is no surprise whatsoever. Florida man gets hand blown off by fireworks. If you didn't have that in the center square freebie of your bingo card for July, you're not paying attention. A Florida man's hand was blown off by fireworks on early Saturday morning. Believe that? Broward Sheriff's Office deputies received a call regarding an incident involving fireworks just after 1 a.m. in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida on Saturday, according to Fox 35 Orlando. So technically, it's Saturday morning, but for real, this boy had been drinking since Friday night. It is now Friday late night, 1 a.m. The person was later taken to a different hospital by an ambulance. I'm guessing it wasn't in network. Or they just don't handle stupid. A witness told 7 News he said the incident happened suddenly. That's quite the adverb to use. It wasn't even like 5 minutes, because as soon as he lights it, it exploded, said the person, according to the report. The man was taken to the hospital by private vehicle, but the hand was taken to the hospital. Oops. The man was taken to the hospital by a private vehicle, but the hand was taken to the hospital by Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue officials, according to the report. According to the witness, the hand was not able to be reattached at the hospital. They couldn't do nothing, the witness said. Surprise. So, of course, they're not going to mention that alcohol was involved, but something at 4 in the morning, 1 in the morning, I mean, right? And if they went to one hospital and the hand went to another hospital, at some point that hand had lost enough oxygen, it's not getting reattached. So maybe the guy's a southpaw. Hey, siblings. Here's a fun story out of Florida. Thank God for Florida. It makes us feel better about ourselves here in the Kakalaka, where we have Anthony Spivey types and Mark Meadows types. We need something to counteract that. All right, coming out of Tallahassee, Tennessee, actually, which is weird. No, wait, maybe there is a Tallahassee, Florida. I don't know. I don't go there because I read enough Florida stories that I stay the hell away from there. I've been there twice, and that was enough. Florida teen Addison Bethea bitten by shark to have partial leg amputation. That's not a good way to start. Addison Bethea faces a long fight ahead after she was bitten by a shark off Keaton Beach on the state's Gulf Coast. I've always been told that something will happen just like that, and that was definitely this situation, the 17-year-old said from her hospital room days after the attack. Bethea, who is from Perry, started last Thursday on the water, just like many others ahead of Independence Day. We were scalloping for about 2 hours, and we went to the last spot, obviously, for only like 15 minutes, and we were going towards the boat, and I felt like a tug. The tug of a roughly 9-foot-long shark coming seemingly out of nowhere. I tried to push it off of me and punch it in its nose, but it was like a weird possession where I couldn't punch his nose good. Then it tried to drag me underwater because we were in like 6 feet of water. Her brother, Rhett Willingham, was nearly 8 feet away from her when the shark attached itself to her thigh. I heard her almost yelp, and I stood up to turn around and see what was going on because it sounded like something scared her, and she was under the water, and then she came back up, and there was blood all around her, and I saw the shark, said Willingham. Willingham, a firefighter, helped her fight it off, but then came the next battle to save her life. He pulled his sister into another boat, applied a tourniquet to her leg to stem the blood loss, and rushed her back to land as fast as possible. From her daughter's hospital room at Tallahassee Memorial, their mother, Michelle Murphy, called him a true hero. My daughter, by medical standards, should not be alive right now, and I know that. It's a miracle she survived this, and I know if Rhett hadn't been the one that was with her when it happened, we may be in a very different scenario right now, said Murphy. The teen is scheduled to have her leg amputated above the knee on Tuesday. Man, sorry. Bethea's story quickly spread across the country, and she said that the support of all people all over has helped her through this process. It's just insane because I've seen other people go through things and need support and thought it'd never be me. Now that I'm going through it, it's just crazy, she said. But the most meaningful bond is at home with her older brother. We've always been close, like since forever. So this somehow brought us even more close. He's always been by my side, and I've always looked up to him. Despite the challenges ahead, her love of being out on the water remains. Don't be scared of the ocean. I had so many people comment on my Instagram saying, I'm so scared of the ocean now, but I'm still going to get in the ocean when I heal and get better. I'm still going to do what I love. Don't just let fear overtake your life, she said. So if you need to hear a message like that from somebody who's, been through something like that, well, there you are. There's your inspiration. There's your opportunity to rise to a new level of mediocrity in your own life. Isn't that awesome? Hey, when we come back, yeah, more stuff from the Asylum. Might have guests. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a free-for-all. We're just sort of rolling with it. So, don't go nowhere. We'll be back eventually.
Hello, I'm Matt Bennett with WWAY News. A new law limits how much the town of Leland can expand in Brunswick County. Leland is one of the fastest growing towns in North Carolina. Earlier this year, residents in the unincorporated area of Winnebago began circulating a petition to become a town, hoping to prevent Leland from forcibly annexing them. This new law would shorten the distance Leland can annex from 3 miles from recognized borders to 1.5 miles. We have new details about a deadly lightning strike in New Hanover County over the weekend. The National Lightning Safety Council says 33-year-old William Friend died on Sunday from a lightning strike on Masonboro Island. Wrightsville Beach CTO confirms it was on the island at the time of the strike, attempting to help several boaters who had gotten stuck just before the storm. CTO says Friend was one of several boaters who called for help at the same time, unable to get off the island. CTO was attempting to help another boater that called just before Friend when the lightning struck. Governor Roy Cooper has signed an executive order to protect abortion rights in North Carolina. The governor says many of our neighboring states have implemented abortion bans, and people already have made their way to North Carolina seeking abortion care. The chief medical officer for Planned Parenthood South Atlantic says this week they will perform abortions on nearly 200 patients from other states. The executive order will protect those people and providers from being extradited if abortion is considered criminal in their home state. Health administrators report the first confirmed case of monkeypox in Wake County. This is North Carolina's third confirmed case. Meanwhile, a North Carolina company says it will become the first national lab with a test for monkeypox. LabCorp says it began testing yesterday using a CDC PCR test that detects monkeypox. For more on these stories, you can head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Matt Bennett. Have a great day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist from Mel Carpenter with the Storm Track 3 forecast. Get ready for another hot and humid one in the Cape Fear. Heat advisories go into effect starting at 11 o'clock this morning, lasting until 7. Going to be seeing air temperatures climb into the middle 90s away from the coast, upper 80s along the immediate coastline, with triple-digit heat index values in store for us this afternoon. There will be a small chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly in the afternoon and evening, with temperatures falling down into the middle and upper 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY and WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to twomenandatruck.com. twomenandatruck.com.
I'm a boat builder. It's a tough job that takes time, patience, and precision. It's also incredibly rewarding. How many people can say they built a boat from scratch? In our area, there's a great need for people who can build and repair boats. I turned my love for life on the water into a career that I truly enjoy. I went to CFCC for 2 years, got my training, and now I look forward to work every day. You can too. Visit cfcc.edu/boatbuilding and get started today.
Teachers and parents, the North Carolina Symphony is here to support you as you carry on the education of your children and students. Take your kids on a free virtual field trip to the Symphony with a virtual education concert and companion student book. Go on a virtual journey to learn what makes music music, with music by William Grant Still, Beethoven, Brahms, and
All right, we're trying this again. Welcome back to the Asylum, your refuge in a world gone mad. It may not be the same link, but at least we're back on the Facebook. I don't know why that broke. So many of this, oh my God, Jesus, so much crap you got to deal with these days. Anyway, welcome back to the Asylum, your refuge in a world gone mad. BigTalker.live. Download the app for Android, iOS devices. Peruse our schedule of content. Send an email with any comments, questions, concerns, compliments, or critiques. We can't improve without your assistance. Thank you. All right. I should have an entry in this place. Calgary News, CTV News. Do I have an Arthur Mark Villani? Calgary's new Museum of Failure aims to spark creativity. It's been said no one's success is complete without failure, but a new international exhibit in Calgary is proving that even some of the most talented innovators had some of the worst ideas for consumers. The Museum of Failure officially made its Canadian debut when it opened on July 1st at South Centre Mall, featuring more than 130 displays of failed innovations. Some of the lowlights include such monumental flops as Google Glass, Colgate Beef Lasagna, Fish-Flavored Water, and the E.T. video game. Come on, that's not fair. I don't know if that was a failure. I mean, no more so than Snake. Anyway. Calgarians were also able to were able to check out a hula chair aimed at weight loss, an electrical face mask, and Jarts, a so-called family-friendly lawn dart game that injured thousands of people. We should bring that back. Anyway, the museum was originally conceived by psychologist and innovation researcher Dr. Samuel West. Since making its debut in Sweden, the traveling exhibit has visited cities such as Los Angeles, Paris, and Shanghai. Showpass CEO and founder Lucas McCarthy organized the Calgary event and said it provides a unique insight into the risky business of innovation. Ooh, we have all types of failures. I just have to absorb this. And the coffee. We have all types of failures, everything from commercial failures from a financial perspective, failures from the idea of naming things wildly incorrectly, failures for research, and just some genuine incompetence, he said. I fit in that latter category, actually. But the most interesting part of this museum is that this all started from an idea that someone had for creativity and innovation. And that's really what we wanted to try and highlight, the idea that creativity and innovation may sometimes lead to not successful outcomes. Visitors to the museum, like Michelle Beldy, couldn't agree more that some ideas, although foolish at the time, could lead to great business triumphs. I think this is absolutely a lot of fun, she said. I'm going to actually take some of the stuff I learned back to me, some of the stuff I learned back to me at work. I'm going to take some of this stuff I learned back to me at work with me. Take this back with me to work because we're all about innovation. So there's some ideas here that I can kind of capitalize on. The museum also gave Calgarians the chance to share their own personal failures by writing them on sticky notes and pasting them on the wall. Everything from texting my mother-in-law instead of my wife, drinking too much tequila, and plugging a power bar into itself was written down. Joshua Harrop was amazed at the human element of the exhibits. It shows you have to roll with the punches, he said, but honestly, don't ever be afraid to ask for help. Know your market because there are ups and downs. Your idea is going to change. The Museum of Failure is open until the end of August and is located at an exterior entrance on the south side of South Centre Mall near the Decathlon store. 10 to 8 Wednesday to Sunday. Tickets purchased online at showpass.com. And then a bunch of clickbait after that. That's really cool. Love the clickbait. So every failure is, missed notes. We can't say much about it. Huh. Dead silence. Isn't that awesome? Anybody been to Lake Mead recently? Nobody wants to go to Mead. There is no Lake Mead left. But hey, let's see what they got. Associated Press, nobody's putting their name on this one. So, World War II era boat emerges from shrinking Lake Mead. I don't know if it emerges so much as it is exposed, all right? A sunken boat dating back to World War II is the latest object to emerge is the wrong word, from a shrinking reservoir that straddles Nevada and Arizona. The Higgins landing craft that has long been 185 feet below the surface is now nearly halfway out of the water at Lake Mead. 185 feet. That's 18 stories. Think about it. That's how much water in all of Lake Mead. And Lake Mead is massive. It is now 185 feet dropped. The boat lies less than a mile from the Lake Mead Marina and Hemingway Harbor. It was used to survey the Colorado River decades ago, sold to the marina, and then sunk, according to dive tours company Las Vegas Scuba. So apparently it's like a stop along the way of scuba diving along the bottom of the Lake Mead. But guess what? Ain't no more scuba diving in Lake Mead because ain't no Lake Mead left. Higgins Industries in New Orleans built several thousand landing craft between 42 and 45, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported. Around 1,500 of the Higgins boats were deployed at Normandy on June 6, 1944, known as D-Day. The boat is just the latest in a series of objects unearthed by declining water levels in Lake Mead, the largest human-made reservoir in the U.S., held back by the Hoover Dam. In May, 2 sets of human remains were found in the span of a week. Experts say climate change and drought have led to the lake dropping to its lowest level since it was full about 20 years ago, as the water levels drop at both Lake Mead and Lake Powell upstream on the Arizona-Utah line. States in the U.S. West increasingly face deeper cuts to their supply from the Colorado River. The lower levels also impact hydropower produced at the Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam, which holds back Lake Powell. U.S. Bureau of Reclamation Commissioner Camille Touton said last month that the agency would take action to protect the system if the 7 states in Colorado River Basin don't quickly come up with a way to cut the use of up to 4 million acre-feet of water, more than Arizona and Nevada's share combined. An acre-foot is about 325,850 gallons. God bless. An average household uses 1/2 acre to 1 acre foot of water a year. 325,850 gallons. And they need to remove 400 million of those 325,850 gallon units of water. Wow. The 2 states, California and Mexico, Mexico's not a state. Fox 32, man, y'all need a proofreader. The 2 states, California and New Mexico, already have enacted voluntary and mandatory cuts. Water from some reservoirs in the upper basin, Wyoming, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah, has been released to prop up Lake Powell. Farmers use a majority of the river's supply. Brutal. Whew. 185 feet below water. That's how far. I mean, that's 185. So if the world isn't in crisis at some level, it's at crisis at another. At some point or some issue. I find it interesting that, we're going to be worried about other countries and other situations, and here in a minute we're not going to have one ourselves, but we're not terribly concerned about that, it seems. I don't understand. This is crazy. This is weird. Just because I can click around and have nothing better to do for another hour and change. Okay, fine. The Times out of UK. Stop it. Who wrote this? Simon Cable and Peter Stubley. Oi, what is this I'm looking at? The title disappeared. Wet Wipe Island has changed course of Thames. A wet wipe island the size of 2 tennis courts has formed in the Thames, prompting a call from ministers for people to avoid using the items. The government is considering a ban on wet wipes that contain plastic in an attempt to cut the pollution caused by them being flushed down the lavatory. Are you serious? This is what I... Oh. Okay, enough of that. So your subscription crap just ended that story. Let's see if we can talk about the swordsman. Ellen Dennis, Herald.net, The Herald, in Everett, Washington. Police, Marysville man shot sword-wielding roommate in self-defense. The roommates were arguing over eBay sales, according to police. Then one of them allegedly brandished a 2-foot sword. A Marysville man who shot his roommate earlier this week acted in self-defense. Police say a woman called police Tuesday to report an assault at a home in the neighborhood south of 116th Street Northeast and State Avenue. The caller reported a man had pulled out a sword and her boyfriend shot him. Authorities arrived to find a man laying in the front yard with a gunshot wound to his pelvis. As paramedics treated the wounded man, another man walked out of the home with his hands in the air. He reportedly cooperated with police. That man told police his gun was inside a nearby blue truck, police wrote. Police found the gun in the truck. Other roommates reportedly told police the 2 men had argued about some items that were sold on eBay. One of the men lunged at the other with a sword, police wrote, slashing him in the upper torso. The victim, a legal gun owner, produced his concealed handgun, police wrote, and fired a single shot in self-defense. Police arrested the sword-wielding man. He was booked into jail for investigation of second-degree assault. He remained in custody on Thursday afternoon. So, don't take a knife to a gunfight. Right? And we've all had those friends that, they're psychotic enough or whatever. If I see somebody with a couple of, katanas or just... They're cool in the movie, right? The Conan sword, that was really cool in the movie, but why do you have one? You are the most inept bastard there is. You cut yourself opening a can of beans. Why the hell do you have a 7-foot blade? Or in this case, a 2-foot blade. You're obviously not able to take care of yourself. Doing that would just be a ridiculous... What are you thinking, you dumbass? I'm sorry. Why not? Slashed him across the torso, then got shot in the ding-ding. Oh, pelvis. That to me sounds awful close to the ding-ding. It's gonna hurt. That one's gonna hurt. So. This one... Alright, let's giggle at it. Because we can. I guess this may be like the way of the MILF is what this one should be called, coming out of Kansas City Star. Yahoo News. I didn't think Yahoo was even in business. Aspen, I am not going to pronounce that last name, but it looks The number of letters and the way they're laid out just looks like somebody coughing up a hairball. Mom accused of flashing inmates as her kids played now faces prison time, Pennsylvania judge says. Pennsylvania mom was sentenced to prison time after authorities say she flashed inmates while her kids played nearby. The 36-year-old woman from Elizabethtown took her two children, ages 8 and 12, with her to the Lancaster County Prison on September 16, 2021. The Lancaster District Attorney's Office said in a news release. Officials said the woman went to see a specific inmate, got on top of her car, and exposed her breasts. Inmates within the prison began yelling and could still be heard when police arrived on the scene. Authorities said police reported finding a woman laying on top of her car with her children in the back seat. During the incident, officials said her kids were running around the car and swinging from a speed limit sign. In court, the prosecutor argued that the woman showed no remorse, was belligerent toward the responding officers who were just there to do their jobs, and bragged about her behavior afterward, per the court statement. Defense argued against prison time, saying the woman needed to care for her children, according to the release. Hey, they're fine. They're swinging from the speed limit sign. In response, Lancaster County Judge Thomas Spanagle, why is it names get me hung up, said, I don't think people are able to use their children as shields from going to jail. The jury deliberated for 8 minutes before finding her guilty of open lewdness. Spanagle sentenced the woman to prison time between 2 months and a year, according to the police. So, yeah, the apparently the need to helicopter is not limited to men. But hey, if you're going to put on a show, give it to the whole prison. Woo! That's, That's who we are, hominis Americanus. On this day in 1520, Battle of Otumba, Mexico, Hernan Cortez and the Tlaxians defeat a numerically superior Aztec force. Marco Polo Bridge, 1937, Japanese and Chinese troops clash, beginning the Second Sino-Japanese War. 1947, alleged and disputed Roswell UFO incident. No longer alleged, apparently. 2005, coordinated terrorist bomb blasts strike London's public transport system during the morning rush hour, killing 52 and injuring 700. On the same day, 2005, influenced by global Live 8 concerts, G8 leaders pledged to double 2004 levels of aid to Africa from 25 to 50 billion US dollars by the year 2010. How'd that go? So, that's a fun little wrap-up. Done all the news, done everything else, and I still got an entire hour to go. So, with that in mind, I think I just got some shocking news here. New news. I'm, it's a little behind-the-scenes stuff that maybe I did something right, maybe I did something wrong. I'm not sure. But holy cow, don't do that to me on air. I still got 2 minutes before I can hit a commercial break, and man, oy, that's scary. At least everything seems to be working, so. That's what it is to run a hack and slash environment right out of your bedroom. I mean, it works. It's amazing that it works. It really is, but that's why I do it. And hey, for all you fans of Elon Musk, I'm disappointed to discover as well that he apparently has twins by one of his executives. Neuralink executives. That's just like, man, really? Huh. Ooh. This is something I wish I had Andrew on here for. Travis Scott slammed by Astroworld victims fam. See, he knows better. This is coming out of TMZ. Travis Scott stopping a concert for a rowdy crowd is backfiring because the family of one of the Astroworld victims thinks it shows him picking and choosing when he puts fan safety first. Alex Hilliard, an attorney representing Ezra Blunt's family, tells TMZ Scott's action at the July 4 Coney Island show don't prove the rapper is compassionate and willing to keep order. If anything, it depicts the exact opposite, at least according to the lawyer. Hilliard says, wait, is it Hilliard or Hilliard? It's written Hilliard in one and then Hilliard in the other. He knows exactly how to keep his fans safe during a concert, but the problem with that is he didn't just learn about the fact that he has control over the entire crowd. Huh? He knows exactly how to keep his fans safe during a concert. But the problem with that is he didn't just learn about the fact that he has. His implication is Travis has known he wields this power all along, including at Astroworld, but simply refused to exercise it to settle things down. Travis has denied that. Hilliard goes on, there are 10 people that would still be alive today, including young Ezra Blunt, if Travis realized his responsibility as an artist goes further than just trying to rile up his crowds. And it reemphasizes the rule of if you see something, say something. In the immediate aftermath of the Coney Island performance, one of Travis's reps came out and said, Travis is committed to doing his part to ensure events are as safe as possible so that fans can have fun. Adding that he encouraged fans to listen to security so everyone could be safe and enjoy themselves. It might leave Travis Scott feeling like he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, but Hilliard just isn't buying the compassionate Trav version of events. He hits back rather fiercely, telling us the problem Mr. Scott has is his, when we call him to the stand to swear him in and cross-examine him, the judge will not allow his paid spokesperson to sit in the witness chair and answer questions for him. Oh, yeah, y'all need to, The problem Mr. Scott has is this. When we call him to the stand to swear him in and cross-examine him, the judge will not allow his paid spokesperson to sit in the witness chair and answer questions for him. As you know, Travis is still tied to several lawsuits that have accused him of being liable for the deaths at Astroworld Fest. All that litigation is still working its way through the courts, and he has yet to be dropped from any of those suits despite having asked. Brutal. All right. That was fun. I don't even know what's in there. There it is. I like that little bumpy. There it is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot more mellow than I remember it. Anyway, we'll be right back. The Asylum, your refuge in the world gone mad. Be right back after this. Don't go nowhere. You're tuned in to the Big Talker Network, Wilmington, North Carolina's premier internet station for news and talk radio programming. Find us online at bigtalker.live.
I'm K.O. Davis from K.O.'s Coast to Coast Tree, and I want to be your tree man.
When your trees need cut, 2 letters to know. One is a K, the other is an O. K.O.
Tree man. Proper trimming is the most important thing that you can do, so don't just hire anybody to do it. You need someone that knows what they're doing.
K.O.
Call the professionals at K.O.'s Coast to Coast Tree and visit KOTrees.com.
Folks, the sad truth of it is most of what we're seeing in the news cycle is just noise, and it's recycled noise at that. Nothing informative, nothing that actually helps us discern the times that we live in. That's why we started doing Heard Tell. Every morning right here on Big Talker Network, 7 a.m. with a replay at 3 p.m., we talk and discuss the issues of the day, culture, and politics with knowledgeable guests. No yelling, no caterwauling, just grown folk talk about the issues that matter. Join me, Andrew Donaldson, every weekday morning for Heard Tell.
Hello, I'm Matt Bennett with WWAY News. A new law limits how much the town of Leland can expand in Brunswick County. Leland is one of the fastest growing towns in North Carolina. Earlier this year, residents in the unincorporated area of Winnebago began circulating a petition to become a town, hoping to prevent Leland from forcibly annexing them. This new law would shorten the distance Leland can annex from 3 miles from recognized borders to 1.5 miles. We have new details about a deadly lightning strike in New Hanover County over the weekend. The National Lightning Safety Council says 33-year-old William Friend died on Sunday from a lightning strike on Masonboro Island. Wrightsville Beach Seatow confirms it was on the island at the time of the strike, attempting to help several boaters who had gotten stuck just before the storm. Seatow says Friend was one of several boaters who called for help at the same time, unable to get off the island. Seatow was attempting to help another boater that called just before Friend when the lightning struck. Governor Roy Cooper has signed an executive order to protect abortion rights in North Carolina. The governor says many of our neighboring states have implemented abortion bans, and people already have made their way to North Carolina seeking abortion care. The chief medical officer for Planned Parenthood South Atlantic says this week they will perform abortions on nearly 200 patients from other states. The executive order will protect those people and providers from being extradited if abortion is considered criminal in their home state. Health administrators report the first confirmed case of monkeypox in Wake County. This is North Carolina's third confirmed case. Meanwhile, a North Carolina company says it will become the first national lab with a test for monkeypox. LabCorp says it began testing yesterday using a CDC PCR test that detects monkeypox. For more on these stories, you can head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Matt Bennett. Have a great day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist from Mel Carpenter with the Storm Track 3 forecast. Get ready for another hot and humid one in the Cape Fear. Heat advisories go into effect starting at 11 o'clock this morning, lasting until 7. Going to be seeing air temperatures climb into the middle 90s away from the coast, upper 80s along the immediate coastline, with triple-digit heat index values in store for us this afternoon. There will be a small chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly in the afternoon and evening, with temperatures falling down into the middle and upper 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY and WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by 2 Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to 2menandatruck.com. 2menandatruck.com.
Folks, you must visit Angie's Fresh Produce. 4447 Long Beach Road, Southport. Beautiful fresh produce at a great price. Angie's has just about every vegetable you want. In-store shopping and pickup, and all wheelchair accessible. Call Angie's Fresh Produce at 910-477-9068.
Teachers and parents, the North Carolina Symphony is here to support you as you carry on the education of your children and students. Take your kids on a free virtual field trip to the Symphony with a virtual education concert and companion student book. Go on a virtual journey to learn what makes music music, with music by William Grant Still, Beethoven, Brahms, and more. Access the free video and student book with password 1932 at ncsymphony.org/virtual.
I am State Farm Agent Rob Renz, and I want to help you get to a better place. Visit us online at ilminsurance.com. That's ilminsurance.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. Welcome back to the Asylum, your refuge in the world gone man, right here on the Big Talker Network, BigTalker.live. That's right. Download the app for Android and iOS devices. You can't miss. It'd be a great time You'll love it. It's a way of life. There is no other app like it on the planet, I don't think. At least, not as far as I'm concerned, because that one's ours. So there. Anyway. Also, there's an email link. Send us any comments, questions, concerns, compliments, or critiques. We cannot improve without your feedback, assistance. Make it your station. We become Wilmington, North Carolina's premier internet station for news and talk radio programming. Can't beat that with a stick. Okay, enough of that. Dead silence. I like that. This is quieter than when the station was at the Murkison building. A lot of that has to do with the technology that I have repurposed, blending the stuff from my own world into the world of radio, or internet radio, I should say, because a lot of people are being more purist than I am about it. I mean, we're still a radio station. It's just the relationship with our transmitter was awful expensive. And, we're kind of slacking on that, getting the word out. And one of those words is, getting everybody to hop on the interwebs and email my friend Chad Adams and ask him why he's not participating in the morning program. You would think the Chad Adams show would have a show. And there's an opening from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. I mean, the Asylum is more of a placeholder. I'm not good at this stuff, as you can tell. I got a couple of guests on Monday and Wednesday. They're kind of fun. They're smarter than I am. That's why we should have Chad on here. Because he could actually, engage you guys. I've got a phone number up here, 910-444-0281, has rung only once since November 2021. So getting people to engage, you need somebody like Chad, because he can sit there and just completely rile y'all up. I just don't know how to do that. Not part of my wheelhouse. Not at all. I just sit here and cough and hack and read you bad stories that I pick up elsewhere. And, as long as it helps fill the time. I mean, I was darn tempted just to turn on the music from Voice in the Pen and just go back to bed. This is quite interesting, a TMZ exclusive. I'm just going to read this one to let you have fun with it on your own. Gunshots in movie Hollywood won't limit gunshots in movie. Hollywood won't limit productions involving shootings in public areas. This is weird. So let's run with it. Movie gunfire that has been a staple on the big screen for decades is way more problematic these days, given the fear those sounds generate during production. But TMZ has learned the LAPD will continue to allow movie shoots in public areas that involve gunfire. A law enforcement source at LAPD's film unit, which issues permits to shoot movies in Hollywood and surrounding areas, tells TMZ there are no plans to limit shooting scenes in public places. The LAPD will not publicly comment on its rationale. But in the wake of the massacres in Highland Park, Uvalde, Buffalo, and hundreds of other cities this year alone, there's no doubt the sound of gunshots strikes fear in anyone within earshot. See what he did there? Gunshot, earshot, fireworks. You can see clearly from celebrations during the 4th of July in Orlando and Philly where fireworks went off and people scrambled thinking it was gunfire, just how terrified and on edge people are. Nevertheless, there's no current plan in LA to limit productions that use weapons and the sounds of gunshots while filming in public. We attempted to find out if any such productions have outstanding permits for movie shoots, but records are not readily available. There have been movie shoots in the past where people who weren't involved panicked when they heard the sounds, but in the last few years, the alarm level has clearly exponentially increased. That's a weird wording, dude. the alarm level has clearly increased exponentially, is what you're trying to say. So when generating art, if your art depicts violence and you have to depict violence in public, are we really that shocked? But then we're going to spend $20 to watch 3 hours of it in a movie theater. Why not? Who cares about you? You're useless and your mom. Kirk Franklin writing a bit in here about hip-hop. My take on R. Kelly debate. Hard to separate artists from the art. Okay, what's his art? I'm just curious. Fans of R. Kelly's music are torn on how to handle the disgraced singer's catalog of hits now that he's doing 30 years for sex crimes, but maybe Kirk Franklin can provide some guidance. We put the issue to the gospel music pioneer in New York City, seeing as how he recorded with Kelly back in '98, and he knows a thing or two about being persecuted in the spotlight. He's a perfect person to weigh in. The gospel Grammy magnate is currently promoting his social justice reform-themed album Kingdom Book 1 with Maverick City Music, and didn't deny cancel culture is a slippery slope because we all make mistakes. Still, he says it can be difficult to separate an artist from the art, and therefore performers have a responsibility to uphold the trust of their fans. As we reported, Kelly is currently off suicide watch in prison, and if he's at all interested in forgiveness from fans, it's going to take a lot of work, according to Kirk. He loosely quoted the Bible's book of Luke 12:48 when he told us, "To whom much is given, much is required." Oof. Oof. Who cares? Who cares? Oh my goodness. This one I didn't know about. It's a good thing we have websites like TMZ. Apparently the Cheer star, Jerry Harris, sentenced to 12 years in a child pornography case. Oh my goodness. 5:28 Pacific time on July 7th. So yeah, this morning, 5:28 a.m. Would have been just, an hour ago. Jerry's attorney Todd S. Poog just released the following statement to TMZ. Jerry Harris is exceedingly grateful for Judge Shah's recognition of his humanity, worthiness, rehabilitative potential. While Jerry has a difficult road ahead of him, his uncompromising spirit and strength has carried him through challenging times before. He has nothing but empathy and remorse for the people he has harmed and hopes that the proceeding provided them some peace. In court yesterday, Jerry showed remorse for the crimes he committed, directly addressing the trauma he caused his victims. I am ashamed, as I know that I took advantage of your youth and weakness. I was wrong and selfish. I caused you harm, and I do not blame anyone. I regret my decisions, and I am deeply sorry. Jerry Harris, star of Netflix Cheer, has just been sentenced to 12 years behind bars in his child pornography case. Harris was in court for sentencing Wednesday, where a string of his friends and supporters read statements about the disgraced reality star's character. After the lengthy hearing, the judge announced the 12-year sentence. Federal source tells TMZ Harris has been ordered into 8 years to pay $35,000 into AVAA Crime Victims Fund, along with court-supervised release after imprisonment. As we reported, Harris was facing up to 50 years behind bars after pleading guilty to one count of receipt of child pornography and one count of traveling with the intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. Federal prosecutors recommended Harris spend 15 years locked away. The Cheer star had been under investigation by the FBI dating back to 2019. Authorities claimed he was soliciting sex from minors at cheer competitions and coercing 10 teen boys to send inappropriate photos. He was arrested in September of the following year. The Netflix series even dove into his arrest during their second season. Good Lord. Harris's cheerleading coach, Monica Aldama, was completely shocked by the news, saying, "Our children must be protected from abuse and exploitation, and I'm praying hard for the victims and everyone infected." He was denied bond while awaiting trial. Prosecutors successfully argued Harris might prey on minors if released on bond, reverting back to the same behavior he once had. Boy, that's rough. Climbing back from that one is not going to be fun, Jack. Boy, that's just... Okay, no. Not playing the stupid. Oh. Oh, that's just... Okay, I'm not even going there because that's just too aggravating. This one still blows me away. I got it now that I have an article about it from TMZ. Elon Musk reportedly had twins on the low last year with a woman who is running one of his companies, making him a father to at least 9 kids. Elon had twins with Siobhan Zilis as top executive in Neuralink, the brain chip company Musk co-founded and chairs, according to an insider report and court docs filed in Texas. The twins were born in November, and the timing is interesting because only a few weeks later in December, Elon and Grimes welcomed their second baby via surrogate. No word on the twins' first names, but the court docs reportedly filed earlier this year by Elon and Siobhan requesting the children's name be changed to include Zilis as a middle name and Musk as the last. A judge already approved the request. Elon and Siobhan met back in 2015, and she's been rising through the ranks at his companies, including a stop at Tesla before Neuralink. There's speculation Elon might pick her to run Twitter if his deal to buy the social media giant eventually goes through. Yeah, I guess you're going to be rewarded. Elon's made a big fuss over the years about declining birth rates, and now he has 9 kids we know about, including 5 with ex-wife Justine Wilson, 2 with Grimes, and now 2 with Siobhan. Siobhan, I think it's Siobhan. They ought to do a Full House series with this. As we reported, Elon and 4 of his kids recently met Pope Francis at the Vatican. We reached out to Elon's camp about the twins. So far, no word back. That's a very awkward photo. It's like nobody wants to stand next to the Pope. There's like 3 kids, 1 kid by himself, the Pope, and then Elon over on the side looking like he's on a firing line. And that suit is cut really sharp there, man. Damn. Boy. Jerome Davison going to the other end of the extreme here. Oh my gosh. GOP candidate Jerome Davison claims AR-15s necessary to kill Klansmen in violent campaign ad. Jerome Davison, a Republican running for Congress, is embracing assault weapons, saying there's a place for them in America, especially when it comes to subduing members of the KKK. It's a bizarre and disturbing political ad, which I do not encourage you to look down. Davison leans in hard on Democrats with his hypothetical that he would need 30 rounds fired in rapid succession to protect his family. Davison, a former Oakland Raiders running back who's running in Arizona, suggests Democrats are the ones inside the Klan hoods. Jeez. The video shows hooded Klansmen with donkey patches on their robes menacingly approaching a home where Davison is hanging out with an AR-15. He's the only one with a firearm, and when he brandishes the rifle, the Klansmen turn and run. The ad ends with a white hood floating in a pool, and in a social media post promoting the spot, Davison says, "Make rifles great again." Davison posted the ad Wednesday, just 2 days after an assault rifle was used in a mass shooting at an Independence Day parade. Let's see how well that goes for you, Mr. Davison. I'm thinking that's probably not the brightest move you've ever made. Oh, man. I thought this started out here, but anyway, Outer Banks, stand-in for Chase Stokes killed in a hit-and-run accident. A stand-in for Chase Stokes on the hit show Outer Banks was killed this week in a horrific car accident. This as the new season continues to film in South Carolina. 22-year-old Alexander A.J. Jennings was struck by two vehicles early Tuesday morning in Charleston, both of which fled the scene. He passed away as a result of the injuries sustained from the double hit and run. The coroner's office has his time of death listed as 3:13 a.m. According to preliminary reports, Jennings was walking along a main thoroughfare between James Island and Folly Beach when he was hit around 2 a.m. The first vehicle left him for dead, and not too long after that, Jennings was apparently hit by a second vehicle that also split. Although that driver was reportedly later pulled over in a traffic stop, life-saving measures were unsuccessful. Jennings succumbed to his injuries. His employer, Kimmy Stewart Casting, confirmed Jennings had been working on OB as a photo double stand-in for John B., the main character of the Netflix series portrayed by Chase. Kimmy Stewart Casting writes, "I cannot fathom the shock and tragedy of AJ's sudden loss, and our thoughts are with his family and friends during this difficult time. I understand this message may be difficult to process for those of you that met and became fast friends with AJ. The agency adds that Netflix has grief counseling available to those who need it, as AJ appears to have had a lot of friends on the production. One of those friends, it seems, was Chase himself, who also honored AJ by taking to social media." He writes, "Still trying to process why certain things happen and why the world works in the way that it does. My heart is shattered. Your life was just starting. We just talked about how pumped you were about your tunes, how far you'd come with that old six-string, and you want to keep creating art. Always making others' hearts warm and being so damn selfless." Chase went on to say AJ had touched all of their lives, adding, "Fly high, Angel." Outer Banks reportedly started filming season 3 earlier this year, and they shoot on location in Charleston. No charges have been filed yet, and the case is pending. I hope they find those guys. Oh, man. Just drove off. Just drove off. That's pretty brutal. Man. All right. So we're going to take a break and see if we can find something a little more uplifting, or I'm just going to have to dive out and take some music, because I don't know how much more I can. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages right here on the Asylum, your refuge in the world. Man, don't go nowhere.
Hello, I'm Matt Bennett with WWAY News. A new law limits how much the town of Leland can expand in Brunswick County. Leland is one of the fastest growing towns in North Carolina. Earlier this year, residents in the unincorporated area of Winnebago began circulating a petition to become a town, hoping to prevent Leland from forcibly annexing them. This new law would shorten the distance Leland can annex from 3 miles from recognized borders to 1.5 miles. We have new details about a deadly lightning strike in New Hanover County over the weekend. The National Lightning Safety Council says 33-year-old William Friend died on Sunday from a lightning strike on Masonboro Island. Wrightsville Beach CETO confirms it was on the island at the time of the strike, attempting to help several boaters who had gotten stuck just before the storm. CETO says Friend was one of several boaters who called for help at the same time, unable to get off the island. CETO was attempting to help another boater that called just before Friend when the lightning struck. Governor Roy Cooper has signed an executive order to protect abortion rights in North Carolina. The governor says many of our neighboring states have implemented abortion bans, and people already have made their way to North Carolina seeking abortion care. The chief medical officer for Planned Parenthood South Atlantic says this week they will perform abortions on nearly 200 patients from other states. The executive order will protect those people and providers from being extradited if abortion is considered criminal in their home state. Health administrators report the first confirmed case of monkeypox in Wake County. This is North Carolina's third confirmed case. Meanwhile, a North Carolina company says it will become the first national lab with a test for monkeypox. LabCorp says it began testing yesterday using a CDC PCR test that detects monkeypox. For more on these stories, you can head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Matt Bennett. Have a great day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist from Mel Carpenter with the Storm Track 3 forecast. Get ready for another hot and humid one in the Cape Fear. Heat advisories go into effect starting at 11 o'clock this morning, lasting until 7. Going to be seeing air temperatures climb into the middle 90s away from the coast, upper 80s along the immediate coastline, with triple-digit heat index values in store for us this afternoon. There will be a small chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly in the afternoon and evening, with temperatures falling down into the middle and upper 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY and WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to twomenandatruck.com. twomenandatruck.com.
Marine Service Pro and the Tackle Box Seafood, located at 8210 River Road, Southport, is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with the Tackle Box open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6. Marine Service Pro is a full Suzuki and Tohatsu dealership. They deal in pre-owned boats, full service and repair, with certified technicians in all engines, and fiberglass specialists. The Tackle Box offers fresh, local seafood, live bait, a tackle shop, and fish packing and shipping. They also offer a full-service U-Haul dealership. Spend time with Leon or Jenny for one-stop shopping at Marine Service Pro and the Tackle Box Seafood, 8210 River Road, Southport.
Enjoying Big Talker Network is as easy as asking for it. Program your digital home assistants such as Google Home, Alexa, and Siri to stream Big Talker Network content by simple voice command. Enjoy convenient hands-free access to program whenever you want, however you want, by asking for Big Talker.
Would it surprise you to know that being depressed and running a morning program doesn't really add up too well. Right. On the days when I'm manic and everything's going well and I'm just absolutely on top of it, it's absolutely wonderful. Then there are days like this where I'm like, why? All the other shows on this station are so much better than this one. Please enjoy them. I'm just filling time. I want smarter people on here. I want people who know what they're doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing. That's why the whole thing works, right? I don't know what else that I don't do politics. I don't know politics. I know people. I know we got some pretty stupid people doing pretty stupid things. On the high and the low. This can't be the same one. Shaun White. It is the same one. Wow. Huh. Shaun White, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of Smoking Gun. I don't have an author for this. Just a mugshot of your boy with a black eye. He got a shiner. Two-time Olympic gold medal winning snowboarder Shaun White was arrested by Tennessee police in September 2012. This is 10 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Why did this pop up today? I did not know this. He was charged with vandalism and public intoxication, according to cops. A drunken Shaun White set off a fire alarm at a Nashville hotel, forcing an evacuation of fellow guests. After refusing to sign misdemeanor citations, the 26-year-old X-Games superstar was booked into jail where he posed for the mugshot of the black eye before being released ROR. Oh, man. Why? Do I do this one? Sure. Smoking Gun, when is this? December 7, doesn't tell me what year. This is a little more recent. Apparently about 6-7 months or so. No, sorry, 4 years. Man, just damn it. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there at all. Here's a culture piece I could probably have fun with. Fox 32 Chicago. Not that they're going to be digital staff. Nobody's going to put their name on it, so this may not be accurate at all, coming from Fox. No more cash. 24% say they don't have money in wallet. 38% use cash every few months or not at all. Chicago. And it's just, no author. Many Americans are no longer using cash to make daily purchases. A survey by risk management company Third Party Trust found that 24% of people said they don't have cash in their wallet, and 38% use cash every few months or not at all. The COVID-19 pandemic was the final straw for some people. 19% said they stopped using cash once the pandemic started. When do people still get cash out of the ATM? 66% just to have it on hand. 53% say they're going somewhere that only accepts cash. That'd be the weed man. 28% say it's for tipping. 14% discount for paying with cash. 9% exchanging it for foreign currency. And 3% pay for everything with cash. The survey by Third Party Trust was 1,000 people, so it lets you know that our trend of spending money is shifting a little bit. Right? What's interesting is I have two financial streams going. The cash I have on hand is the stuff I can play with. And of course, all the stuff that gets deposited into the account pays all the stuff that has to get paid. So I try to make the cash last because I know where the digital currency is going. Enough of this guy. I'm tired of seeing this freak. Stop showing me the freak. I don't care about the freak. He's a sick freak and his parents should be hung. Can we get good news? Can we get something funny? I mean, I need it. Okay, why not? Oddity Central, July 7th. Chinese company under fire because its ice cream doesn't melt. Chinese premium ice cream company has sparked controversy on social media because its products allegedly don't melt even when kept at high temperatures for long periods of time. Last week, I am not going to pronounce that. A Chinese ice cream company known for its high-quality products went viral on social media after someone posted photos and videos of one of their ice creams next to a thermometer that showed 31 degrees Celsius. The original poster claimed that the frozen treat had been kept at that temperature for around an hour and a half, but it had clearly not melted one bit. The post got a lot of attention and inspired other people to conduct their own experiments, and including taking an open flame to the ice cream to see if it melts. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Well, on July 5th, the ice cream company I can't pronounce once again became the talk of Chinese interwebs as a video of someone using a kitchen torch to melt one of its ice creams went viral. Although the exterior of the treat became charred, the ice cream didn't melt the way you would expect, and that only added fuel to the fire, as did the dozens of other similar videos that popped up after that. As the controversy around the quality of its supposedly high-end ice cream grew, the ice cream company I cannot pronounce eventually came out with a statement to hopefully put customers' minds at ease. It claimed to use a viscosity-enhancing agent, quote-unquote, to prevent the ice cream from melting easily, but assured everyone that its project still met the national food safety standards. You mean like paint? The statement did little to calm spirits, especially considering the ice cream company I cannot name reputation as a high-quality ice cream producer. According to Chinese news sources, its cheapest ice creams are priced at 12 yuan, which is $1.80, several times more expensive than other brands, and with higher-end ice creams reaching a whopping 160 yuan, around $24. Is it safe for the human body to use a product that artificially prevents ice cream from melting for a long time? Or one person asked on Weibo, China's version of Twitter. That is unnatural. Food safety is the most important thing, and practical verification is necessary to completely quell public suspicion, a journalist for People's Daily wrote. The ice cream company I cannot pronounce is one of the most successful ice cream producers in China, but its reputation and bottom line are expected to take a considerable hit following the recent ice cream melting controversy. Somebody needs to drop that on a mass spec. That'll tell you what's going on. It's July. Wait. I didn't see this. Interestingly, non-melting ice cream is a thing, but I guess people want it advertised as such. Japanese researchers create ice cream that doesn't melt, technically. Researchers at Biotherapy Development Research, when is this, 2017, 5 years ago, have come up with a 100% natural solution to the age-old problem of melting ice cream. By using polyphenol found in strawberry, they can keep a popsicle from melting for hours on a hot summer day. Believe it or not, the secret ingredient for unmeltable ice cream was discovered by mistake. The Kanazawa Research Center had asked a local pastry chef to create a new confectionery using strawberry polyphenol in an attempt to find new uses for strawberries not good enough to be sold as fresh fruit. However, the chef later reported that the dairy cream solidified instantly when strawberry polyphenol was added. That made it redundant in confectionery, but researchers at the center realized that polyphenol could be used to make ice cream melt a lot slower. That's wild. Polyphenol liquid has properties to make it difficult for water and oil to separate, said Tomihisa Ota, a professor at Kanazawa University who helped develop the innovative, I like the way the British say it, innovative treat. So a popsicle containing it will be able to retain the original shape of the cream for a longer time than usual and be hard to melt. Kanazawa ice. So how much slower does a strawberry polyphenol ice cream melt? Well, according to Takeshi Toyota, president of the Biotherapy Development Research Center, it would retain its shape even when exposed to the hot air from a dryer. But Japanese reporters didn't take his word for it, instead testing the unmelting ice cream themselves. Last month, reporters from Asahi Shimbun wrote that the popsicle retained its original shape after 5 minutes being exposed to heat around 28 degrees Celsius, which is a good summer day. The guys at Sora News also put the new ice cream to the test, leaving it out for a whole 3 hours. Ha ha ha. Love the spelling. 3 hours. Even though it pretty much became a creamy goo at the end of the test, it took a while for it to reach that state, and even then, it still mostly retained its shape. The Biotherapy Development Research Center company started selling the Wonder ice cream at its Kanazawa ice shop in Kanazawa before expanding to Tokyo and Osaka. It's still only available in Japan, but I bet we'll be seeing it adapted in other parts of the world very, very soon, including China. Interestingly, this is not the world's first unmeltable ice cream. Last year, we wrote about Gastronaut ice cream, a commercially available freeze-dried ice cream, so far only available at space museums. Oh, I had a version of this, and it's not very good. Food expert creates unmeltable premium freeze-dried ice cream for the masses. Yeah, you can get this in Dayton, I think, at the Aeronautics and Space Museum thing. Wouldn't it be nice if you could enjoy a nice, refreshing ice cream on a hot summer day without having to constantly lick at it to keep it from dripping all over your hands? Well, thanks to Gastronaut Ice Cream, now you can. 34-year-old Rob Colligan, founder of Gastronaut Ice Cream, had always been a big fan of astronaut ice cream. That's the one, right. The freeze-dried ice cream sold at space museums and camping stores across the U.S. He has enjoyed eating it since he was a little boy, even though he admits it doesn't very good. Even though he admits it doesn't very good. Doesn't, you left out, taste very good. Because it's made with the cheapest ice cream available and contains artificial ingredients, but it does have the big advantage over the most delicious traditional ice cream. It doesn't melt no matter how hot the sun burns. As he grew up, Collington's culinary tastes changed. Now he prefers organic foods with no preservatives or food coloring, but he never forgot his favorite childhood treat. So, One day he decided applying his current tastes to the astronaut ice cream he loved so much as a kid would be a good idea. Brilliantly, he quit his job as an office worker and spent 3.5 years working on his own version of a natural, organic, freeze-dried ice cream, traveling over 20,000 miles across the United States, Mexico, and Canada to try different types of astronaut ice cream. After gathering all the necessary know-how, Rob Collington created Gastronaut Ice Cream, a premium take on astronaut ice cream, which is made by freeze-drying super premium organic ice cream. The freeze-drying process involves first freezing a food substance, then creating a powerful vacuum and adding heat, which draws out the frozen liquid as vapor. Unlike regular ice cream, Gastronaut is room temperature and crumbles in your hand, but once you take a bite, it absorbs the moisture in your mouth and turns into the exact same sweet and creamy ice cream you've known all your life, but with no brain freeze. Okay, it's a bonus. After a successful crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, which has already raised over $35,000 of the $9,500 goal, with 16 days left to go, Collington launching his Gastronaut ice cream online and in select stores in Brooklyn, New York, but plans to expand internationally in the near future. If you're not selling these on Mars and the moon, you're failing. Gastronaut ice cream is currently available in 3 flavors: Mexican chocolate chip, cookies and cream, and mint chocolate chip, and can be consumed anywhere, no matter how far you are from a freezer. Anybody that appreciates quality food made with quality ingredients would enjoy Gastronaut ice cream, Collington said. When people try it, at first they like it, then they love it, then they become addicted. Like crack. If you're curious about this melt-proof ice cream, you can get at least 2 bars of it at the discount price of $6 a piece by pledging at least $12 on Kickstarters. You'll have to wait a while, though, as the estimated time. Oh, this has been a while, October 2016. We'll have to check in. Do we have Gastronaut ice cream? Let's just do a quick search. I'm going to copy that. Boop. Oh. So apparently Gastronaut ice cream does not hit the top. There we go. Now I see it. 2017. Apparently the name has changed. It's now called Cosmic Unmeltable Ice Cream for Adventure. Spelled COSMIK. That was tricky. Formerly Gastronaut ice cream, the world's first artisanal freeze-dried ice cream, organic and unmeltable, so you can enjoy premium ice cream anywhere on the planet. On the one planet. Which planet? Okay. Not sure you want to go there, but I mean, it's a great idea, I think, I mean, especially here. I mean, you could still freeze them, right? You could still, like, put them into a little cooler and walk around at the Live Oak Pavilion on a hot summer day and sell them for, $10 a piece. Because if they're $6 and you have to wait for them to be manufactured, I don't know. Huh. If you pledge $35, you get 7 Gastronaut ice creams, which means they're $5 a piece at that point. What's your biggest one? Come on, where's your rewards? Here we go. funding period through August. Oh, so wait a minute. This might already be closed. You could have gotten for $300, you could have gotten 60 Gastronaut ice cream bars, now called Cosmic. And I'm going to see if the Cosmic, yeah, there it is. So they have become their own website, apparently. Shop the flavors. Oh, they changed the packaging. Now it's just little wraps. One giant leap for taste buds. Pretty damn delicious as rated by HuffPost. Freeze-dried crunchy treat with no refrigeration needed. Oh, so the bars are popping down at about $4 a pop. A 6-pack of strawberry space ice cream for $24. Just to let you know. Are there any ice cream updates? Oh, no. I see. That's to get you to sign up to find out about them. So right now they have mint chocolate chip, strawberry, and vanilla. That's it. Oh, maybe that's just the specials. If you go to the store, they got more to look at. Cookies and cream. Oh, they're sold out of the hats. Caps are $30. 6-pack variety, 2 of each, are sold out. Oh, I see what happened. They sold out of the cookies and cream space ice cream. So y'all need to like update, or I don't know, did you like run out? I mean, that's sad. That's a good idea. That could be a heck of a giveaway, right? If you could print your own company's name on there and say, hey, you know, reach for the stars and enjoy cosmic ice cream. Or, I don't know, I'm working on it. An edible pancake art. I've heard of these cats, right, that do insane things with pancake batter. I think these cats are cheating just a little bit by using food coloring, but that's me. Oh, maybe China isn't that smart. A so-called career exam taker in China was investigated by authorities for allegedly acing the world's toughest university admittance exam 3 years in a row and reportedly earning $300,000. The Gaokao is a notoriously difficult university entrance exam that many Chinese spend years, sometimes decades, to pass. The king of Gaokao, for example, has been trying to get into his dream college for 25 years now, but China's top schools are just too tough to get into for the vast majority of Gaokao takers. Then there are the lucky few that manage to get into these elite learning institutions like Peking University or Tsinghua University. And finally, there are the career exam takers who earn high sums of money by acing the world's toughest university exam year after year. Because the cacao is so ridiculously hard to ace, many reputed schools in China offer their students considerable monetary prizes for getting into the country's top-rated universities. And because there is no limit on how many times a student can take the Gaokao, some exceptionally gifted individuals get to earn a nice living by simply acing the exam years in a row. Huh. Well. That'd be fun, take physics exams for money. But I mean, are you doing it for someone else, or are you just taking the test to take the test? I mean, that's pretty brutal. No, it's something I want to do. But anyway. Yeah. just for fun. I'm going to let y'all go early. Because I want to go early. You got enough to work with, don't you? I thought so. Besides, all the smart people are coming up next, like Consumer Choice Radio, All Things Brunswick, Guns, Politics, Freedom, When Radio Was, stuff like that. So, your morning coffee conversation with the idiot next door is about coming to an end. So, tell you what, hang out. We'll see you tomorrow. All right? Don't go nowhere. You're tuned in to the Big Talker Network, Wilmington, North Carolina's premier internet station for news and talk radio